Hi guys, this is the advisor and welcome back to my channel. Well, this is basically how to break off with a girl, still have her respecting you and keeping you as a friend for life, no matter when you break off with her, and still come out of it looking like a Don. Okay? In this case, there are two essential techniques that men can use in a relationship to come out stronger and better and come out of it unscathed. There are two things that men, guys, you need to hear these two things, and this is what, if you have sons, that you need to teach them. This is about knowledge you come here to find, and knowledge you come here to get. And women, no, well, I think this should be man talk. I don't think a woman should see this video. But if you are gonna listening, at least you know what to see when you see, how to interpret things when you see it. All right. So, guys, this is where you come to learn. And please give it a like and give it a share when you are through, so that other men and women can learn from this video. So, guys, here's what's going on now. Back in I think it's around late 2017, early 2018, I had gotten a letter from somebody, a gentleman, young man in Florida. And I had put it in, at that days when I published that letter, it was in my The Advisor column on Facebook. Yeah, but I have recently met up in a similar situation where somebody was explaining something to me and asking me for some advice, and it was not as dramatic as the letter. So I'm going to go back to that letter and address this guy's issue in the same way. Now, when this guy phoned me, what he was telling me was that his situation is that he was in a relationship, or he had been in 3 serious relationships in his life, and 2 things he's concerned about with these relationships. First thing is that he never knew when he got into the relationship. He was just dealing with these girls, and eventually, out of the blue, he just wake up, snapped a few weeks or a few months later, and he was in a full-fledged, committed relationship before he even realized it. And the thing is that the girls that he had tried, were in these relationships with, he tried to break it off because he realized that they weren't really his type, or these weren't the type of girls that he wanted to make his wife. They just didn't have all the qualities that he was looking for. Nice persons and all of that, but they just weren't the right person for him to put a ring on their finger. So, when he tried to break it off, he said the first one, when he tried to break it off with her, he was in his parents' flat, a flat that he was allowed to use at times in Florida. And he said the girl created a scene in the flat. Tears, screaming. The girl even threatened that if he tried to break it off, if he did not change his mind, she would throw herself off the 12th floor of the balcony. They were on the 12th floor. She said if he doesn't change his mind, he said it just affected him. He had to do his best to negotiate and calm her down and get her to, understand. As a matter of fact, he said at the time he had to say he was joking, and she eventually, came down and off her, high horses and calmed down. Anyway, after she calmed down, they actually left the flat, or maybe a hour or 2 later. And he says he just simply he communicated with her after that, but he tried his best to avoid her, and, she just freaked out on him. He said after that, he managed to move away. He moved from the state, and they just eventually the relationship just broke up. But he said to this day they are friends, but he had never forgotten the way she had behaved at the time. He said the second time he got into a relationship, the second one, he said he didn't know how he got there either, but he found himself in this relationship. And when he looked a few months later, he realized that this wasn't really the person for him, and this wasn't really how he wanted his life to be. He said, yes, he wanted to settle and get married and have children and all of that at some later date, but this just wasn't the person. He didn't see that. Well, he didn't explain to me what he was exactly looking for, or what was the thing, what were the factors which told him that these were not the people for him. But anyway, with the second girl, he said that he's not going to break it off in a way like what happened in the first one. This time, he's going to make sure he's in public, and he's going to do it in public and do it in the nicest way possible, because they say probably he was being a bit insensitive by just sleeping with her overnight, and when he slept with her overnight, the next morning he was telling her so and so. So he said this time he's going to do it differently. He's going to make sure it's in a public space, and he was treating her nicely. He would not have had any intercourse with her that day or a day or two before, but just invite her out on a date. So he took her on a date, and he took her to a fancy restaurant. And after the restaurant meal and everything, and he paid for the check, they were sitting there having a sip of, I think it was some afters or some dessert or something. And he was telling her, look, this can't work. So I would like us to, just be friends and really. He said the girls screamed at him in the restaurant, surrounded by other people. She was really upset. As a matter of fact, he said she threw a half glass of water that she was drinking on him. I mean, I didn't know something like this could happen in real life. I thought this only happened in the movies. But anyway, he said she, and she actually stormed off, and she called him, and she left a really, really scathing and disgusting voicemail on his phone, after that. And he said to this blessed day, the girl still, he sees her now and again, but when she sees him, her face, and unlike the first one, this one still have him up. And when she sees him, she doesn't even speak with him. So he said this time now he is in another relationship. And as usual, he doesn't know how he really got there. But he's in a relationship. This girl is, she says she's nice and all of that, but he has other plans for his life, and he doesn't know how he's going to break this one off. He just doesn't know. He said that at the time, he said the relationship was about 9 months old. Anyway, this guy, he's only 24. He was only 24 at the time, so he was young. So none of these relationships was relationships that had gone on for more than a year, probably less than a year. Anyway, he now wants to know. He thinks the day is likely to come where he have to break it off again. And he say he doesn't know why the women, he know that relationship breaks up very often. And he has never heard of a situation where any man goes through these kind of embarrassing situations, and he wants to know how he should break off a relationship. Well, let's deal with the first issue. Let's deal with the first issue. Brethren, women are women and men are men. Here is the reason why men go into a relationship. Men do not go into relationships. We never meet a girl Well, it happens in some cases, but that is just our dick talking. We will say, oh, that is a girl, oh my God, I want that girl to spend the rest of my life with and I want to marry her. But when you see that, it's just the hormones talking. It's not us. We don't see nobody where we want married to and settle down. When we see girl, we see some pums and we want the pums and we want to just hit and run. That is the nature of men. That is how we are. Every man, that's how we are. Lick and run. Because men do not plan on settling down. We plan to just spread some seeds and move on. Women, on the other hand, once she grows up, real women now, because you know we have some things look like women which are not women. Real women, once they see a guy that they fancy, the first thing that comes to their mind is marriage, children, romance, settling down, being together, fairy tale wedding, and walk off into the sunset together, riding away with Prince Charming. That's how a woman thinks. Once she meets a guy she like, the first guy she meets she like, it's she just think about that. As a matter of fact, she will go home and start writing in her diary, practice how the guy's name, practice the guy's name beside hers to see how his surname would look beside her name. She don't give up her daddy name long time. Yes. So them say if she loved her surname, her birth name, surname, what she will do is hyphenate it and put the guy that she fancy name behind that. Women do those things. It's inborn in them. It's who they are. Now, the thing is, we are always on two. The male and the female are on two different wavelengths. She is going to try her very best to hitch you for life. Once she give you some of the kitten, she just want, and she like you, she just want to hitch onto you for the rest of her life. That's it, how women think. Men, on the other hand, they want to get little of the kitten and run, as I said before. So it's always a constant battle. And gentlemen, you will never ever know when you are really in a relationship. Because you meet her, you go to bed with her, and you wake up 6 months later, not 6 months, 6 days later or 6 hours later, and you are in a full-fledged relationship, and you wonder, when did this relationship start? When did I get here? Yes, but let me tell you, man, that is how it is, that the difference between the male and the female. So we need to understand that. All right? Now, how do you avoid that? Is to never ever let the woman know that you are single. No matter how single you are, never let a woman know you're single. Always have somebody, this mysterious girlfriend that she never sees. Make excuse for her. Make excuse for why her clothes and things are not found in your apartment. And make excuses for this girl. But you have a girlfriend, but you must know what excuse you want to use. But listen, but still, for you to get the pums, you're going to still have to tell her that, listen, I have a girlfriend, but there's a possibility that we might not be in a relationship for much longer. So there's a possibility that things are going on, whatever those things are. But it might strengthen and we might get back fully together completely, but we may not ever get back together. In other words, you are letting this current woman know that there is a possibility that she may be number one. But right now, you are not, you can't go into a full-fledged relationship. Right at the moment, But if you stick around, you just might be the one. Once you put that in the woman's head, she will know that you are not available 100%. You're available in body, but in mind, spirit, and soul, you are not really available. So what she will try to do at that point is to know that there's a rift between you and this mystery girlfriend. There's a rift there between you and this mystery girlfriend, and that rift can widen till it separates completely and put her in the first place, or put her as the one. And she will operate with that. She will work with that. Because what she'll do now is to try to replace the other person who obviously doesn't have a firm footing. But because in her mind, right now, there is no, there is a place available. She's going to slot herself in and build herself up and try to displace the other person permanently and put herself in that space. So telling this woman you have a girlfriend, if she likes you, she will not leave. She'll not leave. She'll just simply stay and try to fit in and maybe do things that she thinks the other person is not doing so as to replace that person. But in her mind, she'll always be aware of the fact that there is somebody else hanging in the shadows. So she knew she is not number one at this point. So she has no reason to quarrel and argue and get all dramatic and hate you or anything, because you were just hanging in the winds, and she will know that from day one. And do not feel any way when you tell her that she's going to leave. Once you tell a woman that there's a space for her, once she likes you, she will occupy that space. Women will come and occupy that space. If a woman tells you that you have a girlfriend, you might not be on all that good terms now, go try and work it out with her or break off completely and come back. If she tells you that, she never really wants you. She never really wants you, because she'll walk down the road and meet another guy which she really like, and the man tell her him have 10 man, and she will still become number 11 if she really like him. So you don't worry about telling her that you have a girlfriend, but things, or whatever. If she really likes you, she will still get into your life and try her best. As a matter of fact, she'll go even harder to try to totally displace the other person. So you don't worry about that. And when you decide to break it off, it's easy. You just tell her, listen, man, my other girl is back. We have decided to work things out, and she will, and we're going to make it work. Now, once you tell her that, she had no reason to argue with you, because she already knew that you had somebody. You understand me? So as a young man, this is how you do it. No matter how you're single, tell a woman, say you're single. Don't do it. Don't do it. You shoot yourself in your own foot right there. So you can tell a woman you have somebody, and she will still stick around if she think that person is not secure enough, securely attached to you, by circumstances. Right? That's the first thing. Now, the second thing is breaking off. What's the best way to break off with a woman? No, this is essential. Here's a good thing. You break off with a woman by not breaking off with her. Never break off with a girl. You don't break off with no woman. Full stop. So you may be wondering why I said, if you don't want a relationship, or am I telling you to stay in the relationship even if you don't want to stay? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you don't have to formally tell a woman you don't need her anymore. You don't do that. Once you're in a relationship, and the relationship that was just imposed on you by circumstances, or that the woman manipulated you into becoming attached to her in that way, when you're ready to leave, just take it slow. Take it slow. Don't be this dramatic thing. Who you are, Shakespeare? How you prepare a break-off speech? You're not preparing a break-off speech, brethren. You're not married to her. You don't even live with her. Why you do break-off speech? You just move on. And when I say move on, I don't mean you're going to hurt her feelings, you know. I mean, in that way, with this dramatic thing. What you do depends on how your relationship was with her. Don't be like that. I mean, start changing. Okay, so for example, let me give you an example. If you used to speak with her, if you used to meet up with her for dates every weekend, start skipping a week. Then when you go out to places, start going to places which she does not quite like as before. And then you start, if you used to see her like every day, start seeing her like every other day. You know, and then you cut it down. So it takes a series of about 2 months to fully break up, 3 months to fully break up with her. But in that time, you're pulling out slowly. All the things you used to do, you used to give her money, you stop, or you give her less, then less, then less. And you lessen the time you see her and lessen everything. Now, what you're doing by doing this is to let her see another side of you that she is not comfortable with. And once she sees sides of you that she's not comfortable with, she is going to start withdrawing herself also. What you're doing over these several weeks and months is to give her the time to seek other options. Once she starts seeking other options, listen, there'll be other guys going for her, you know. But she had decided to throw her chips in with you. Now, once you see you start missing the beat, she will start looking elsewhere. Or she'll start going on another date when you stand her up. And eventually, she'll start gravitate. Because remember, you know, you're not married. And you're not the only guy in the world that she sees and she likes. So she sooner or later, once you start lap, she's going to get somebody else the kitten. And once she start get somebody else the kitten, what I think she's going to do? She's going to start look upon him now and start to write that new man's name behind hers. Don't worry, you know. Women weigh their options too, and she may be giving you the kitten and giving some other body at the same time. But she's more likely to do it when you start leaving more space in her social life, leaving space in her domestic life, leaving space in her romantic life, or in her, you know, once that space is there, nature abhors a vacuum. She's going to get some other man to fill that space over those weeks. And once that man fills that space, you are free. She'll eventually just stop coming around and she'll be your friend. Continue being your friend, because as far as she's concerned, she's the one who never wants you anymore. She's the one who break off. And once she feels that she's the one who break off, she'll still be your friend. So you'll always be her friend. Because just like how she didn't know, you didn't know when the relationship actually started. She just imposed it on you little by little. And when you look, you snap your finger, sugar, you're well deep in a relationship and you never even know when it starts. Brethren, when it starts is the day you get that kitten for the first time. And she said, yes, this is the man I want to be with. Women are like that. Once you can get her for the post and you're in a relationship, so them time. Yeah? So you know you have to still get the kitten, but do it now without the drama. Right? So, in other words, what the thing the whole objective of all this is to not get her become traumatized and flip out. You don't get traumatized and go into your other relationships not knowing what's going to happen down the line. And 3, you remain friends with these ladies like forever. I mean, they're still your friend. Because as far as they're concerned, it's them leave you because you are lapsed and another man take up the ball. You understand me? So that's essentially how you do it. Guys, like, share, leave a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.